Catcher time! Name code Dustin, welcome to Fantasy Smack Talk. 2013 baseball just around the corner. Can't wait. Top 150 cheat sheet. Don't forget to check that out. All other tiers and rankings. Subscribe on YouTube. Follow us on Twitter.
At Fantasy Advice.
All that fancy stuff. Brent, start us off.
All right, tier one. First of all, number one guy, we got Buster Posey. If you're going to be taking a catcher really early, probably not first round, but second round, it's got to be Buster Posey. Batting for average, 24 home runs, over 100 RBIs. This guy's just a stud across the board. We also got Carlos Santana in our first tier here. We think he's going to have an increase in power this year, but that average just isn't going to be there like Posey.
Tier two guys in this guy as well. We got Mauer and Wieters. Obviously Mauer's going to give you better average, depending on your league settings. He might be better for you, but Wieters going to give you a little bit more power, and obviously the young guy upside aspect of things. But both these guys should have a good season again this year, hopefully.
All right, as we look at tier three, I'm going to start with saying you're welcome for waiting on a catcher and then taking this guy. We love us some Salvador Perez. We loved him last year. He got hurt, but he came back. He had 289 at-bats, and in those, he was batting a little over 300, 11 home runs. We absolutely love this guy. If you wait on a catcher, make sure you grab him. And the other guy we just want to touch base on is Mike Napoli. He's out there with the Red Sox, and you're going to hear all the reports. He's going to get his full accompaniment at bats. He's going to DH some. He's going to play first some. We hear this every single year with him, and every year it never happens. So just know that going into it. Don't believe the hype. For some reason, one way or another, he never gets the huge at bats that he's expected to get prior to the year.
Tier four, we got a few guys in this tier. Lucroy is the guy I want to talk about out there with Milwaukee. This guy was playing amazing until he got hurt. Batting .320. He had 12 home runs and only 316 at-bats. Decent guy for you to grab late. And another guy, Brian McCann. The mighty have fallen with this guy. Ranked 13 right now for us in the catchers. Batted .230 last year, but the home runs were still there. We're not necessarily as high on him, obviously, as we used to be, having him ranked outside the top 10, but the potential for a bounce back, obviously, there.
Tier 5, just highlighting one guy, and that's the ageless wonder, A.J. Pierzynski. He's now with the Rangers, and last year he had 27 jacks. So if you're waiting in the draft and you need some help at catcher, you need a little bit of power, you could do worse. But again, which is always scary, he's going to break down. He's an old man. Old man.
In the last tier, I want to talk about a couple of guys. Grandal for San Diego. He's suspended for 50 games for cheating, but he is one of the best. If he wasn't suspended, he would be way up, probably in tier 3 for us. This guy has a huge upside. If you're willing to wait for him, he's really deep league, you want to grab him really late. One thing is you probably won't be able to put him on your DL slot since he's suspended, so keep that in mind as well. But we do like this guy's upside if you're in a format where you want to wait him out, or just keep that in mind after the first 15 games or so. And then also Wilson Ramos, fresh off of his kidnapping, he's back, he's ready to go. But one thing I want to talk about him to point out, he is probably going to be in a nasty timeshare with Kurt Suzuki, so his at-bats will probably be limited with him being in the National League, so keep that in mind. But if this guy did end up having the full company of at-bats, he could be a decent catcher for you to grab late.
All right, that's it. Check out all the other shows that we were talking about earlier and get into the forums, FantasySmackTalk.com. Any questions you have, if you got a draft and you want us to rank it and see how you did, FantasySmackTalk.com. Get in the forums.
Catchers!
Holy